Hey, afternoon everybody, how we doing? How we doing? Wow, winter's coming. It's getting colder, isn't it? Got a few in already. Stephen Hall first in today. He's getting his VTR103 out later to listen to Radio Caroline 648 North Weekend. Yes, I did pop a link in my sort of Radiocruncher page earlier saying that they're on the air from the ship this weekend, Radio Caroline, from the Ross Revenge or the Ross's Revenge. Can't remember which one it is now. Is it Ross's Revenge or Ross Revenge? Anyway, one of those two. But they are live from the ship this weekend, so if any of you are up that way, I'm sure you can tune in and listen to it now. Unlikely we'll get it down here. Might get it in the evening. I'm not sure. But I might try this evening. I can't remember what the schedule is now. I think they're running to about 9 o'clock, aren't they, tonight? So I should be able to catch it later on. So afternoon, Anthony. Afternoon, Aaron. Fat Tony's in. Hi, Tony. Timothy's in. Hi, Timothy. Rob Cross. Hi, Rob. Derek Cooper. Hi, Derek. We got Benji in. Hi, Benji. John Marson. Hi, John. Barry Charnley's in. Afternoon, Barry, and thanks for this volve, which we'll be showing in a minute. Rob Titheridge. Hi, Rob. Don's in. Good day to you there, Don down under. Yeah, I've got to try the accent, am I? I've got to perfect that, really. I think Benji's. I've said hello to Benji, I think, am I? Old Blokey's in. Steve, how are you? Afternoon, Dave. David Tipton. The main man. It's getting warmer. I need to come down there for a visit then, Don, don't I? It's getting colder here. Must tune in to Radio Caroline. Afternoon, Ben. How are you? And Peter in Germany. Hi, Peter. How are you? So got an update on the Hacker Mayflower, because I have done a little bit of work to it on Friday. I didn't like those capacitors hanging out underneath that smoothing can, so I've had to restuff it. Unfortunately, I can't show you the pictures of it because my Google Drive is maxed. So I cannot show you the pictures on Google, and I can't access them. I've got them on my phone, but I've got no means of transferring it from my phone to anything else at the moment. I say that, I might be able to. I might be able to put them in Dropbox or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, Google Drive is maxed out. I wonder if I can share them in something else. Let me have a look. We had a good day out yesterday. We was operating a radio station from a train carriage down at the old Bideford Heritage Railway. That was good fun. Right, let me see if I can select these photos a minute. I'll see if I can share them somehow to the computer, and I'll show you how I've stuffed this capacitor. Not as fancy as David Tipton did, unfortunately, but it's done the job. Okay, so share. How can I share this? Let's have a look. WhatsApp. I can add it to Dropbox. I can upload it to Photos, but I can't show. I can do it to OneDrive. We might be able to do it to OneDrive then. I think I've got some space in OneDrive. Let me try and upload it to OneDrive. Les is in. Afternoon, Les. How are you? Moti. Hi, Moti. Hen. The beer advert is in. No worries, Anthony. Thomas, how you doing, mate? And Susie. Trees are changing colour. Well, they are sort of here. Yeah. Yeah, they are. I mean, leaves aren't really dropping much as yet. Are you down with the grandkids, Les? Yeah. Yeah, Robert Cross tuned into us yesterday. We were on 40 meters. Right, pictures. Let's save it to pictures. We'll add another one, so we'll call that Mayflower. I don't know how to access this on the computer yet, so I'm just downloading it to my OneDrive. Hit that. I don't know if that means that's done or not. It's a doorbell there. I don't know who that is. Well, yeah, I don't know if that's gone or not. I'll have to see. Afternoon, Jess, how are you? Dogs and chickens. We've lost another chicken. We're down to 3 now. Only 3. Only 3. So where is my OneDrive folder, I wonder? Let me see. See if I can find it. It's got to be in here somewhere, isn't it? I mean, this is a Microsoft operating system, so it should be here. OneDrive. Ah, here we go. Oh, hello. What happened there then? Okay. OneDrive. Personal. Pictures. Ah, we might be in business. We might be in business. It's working on it. Yes. Here we go then. Right. Where are we? Well, it's running mega slow. Select all. Open. Oh, it's downloading 11 items. Which could take a while. Yeah. Hi, Robert. Robert Head, how are you? Just got me a cup of tea from my lunch. Only just had my lunch. Yeah, Chris Crawford very kindly offered to host some of my files and that for me, which might be useful actually. So I shall have to contact Chris and ask him how I go about that. Always need more, Don. Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, I think we're good. Let me see if I can get you onto my screen. You should be there. Yes, here we go then. So I've got a space in my OneDrive by the looks of it. So this is the capacitor that I've changed. Well, I haven't changed. I've stuffed. You can see it was in a pretty poor shape. I cut these 2 tabs off and soldered the new caps to just the offcuts really, and I used the ground as the ground. So I've unsoldered all of that and pulled this out now. That's the clamp that goes with it. That's the hole it came out of. So all I've done here is I've just got a sheet of paper and I've put the paper around it and just marked where I'm going to cut it. So you can see I've marked a pencil line where the top of the clamp comes. So the idea was to cut it here so as the clamp goes round it and holds both parts together still. So we're out on my decking now with the old razor saw in my little mitre block. So you can see I've cut right the way through it on that line. And that's the horrendous innards inside it. It's horrible stuff. I mean, I had all this all over my fingers as well. Probably not good. Probably not a good idea, really, is it? I managed to get the pliers in and just heave that out. Inside was a load of bitumen. Now, all I've done is I've just cleaned that out. The bitumen's still in there. I don't think that's going to hurt. Here's the bits in my ultrasonic cleaner. I thought if anything, it's going to get all that crud off the ultrasonic will. Next thing I did is I drilled 3 holes. You can just about see them there. This one's a little bit bigger because I've got the 2 earths twisted together. but I think that was a 2mm hole, and I think these are 1.5. In the process of drilling the yellow one, I actually, this lug came completely off, so I had to actually, that's not going to play the other ones now, so I had to actually put a pot rivet in there and rivet that one back in to the Paxilin board behind. Strange, that's not all the pictures. Oh well. Let me just see if I can find the remaining pictures. I don't know why it didn't show the last pictures, but there you are. Let me get these lined up. Perhaps it only likes to do 4 at a time. So let's open those. Strange. I say I've not used OneDrive before. Afternoon, Mal Bissett. How are you? Okay. Right, I think we're back again. So we should be on my screen. Yes, we are. So yeah, that's the picture of me drilling out the holes. So you can see the holes. You can also see the pot rivet now that's holding the top back on. Look. So this is the capacitors that I had hooked in on the underside of the radio before. So I've desoldered them, put a couple little insulating bits on the positives. I then decided that to keep them together and stop them rattling about, I'd just stick some heat shrink over them. And this is it, temporarily put back in the base of the can. And there it is, all taped up. Can't even see the join where you can. And that's it, back in the radio. All wired back up. So I've not tried this. I've not tried this at all. So how do I get out of that? It's F11, isn't it? There we go. There, managed to show them somehow. But, yeah, I've not tried it yet. It's all back. So old cap, new cap. You're right, Peter. Yeah. Theo T, how are you, mate? Thanks very much. Harvey's in. Hi, Harvey. Caps underneath are only a stopgap until you're going to stuff the cap. Saying that you could have done a tag strip. Yeah, I would have struggled to do a tag strip unless I drilled the chassis, Anthony. I didn't want to drill the chassis, really. Large explosion. Yeah. It could be. Right, let's just get the main camera up and I'll show you my my handiwork back in. Somehow, for some reason, this lamp is loving the. I don't know what's happened to that. Whether it's moved up or down. It loves the video recorder for some reason at the moment. That's better. Okay. So there's the cap back in the radio. You can just see the silver tape that I put on the join, but that is pushed right in now, and that is absolutely solid. There's no way I'm going to move that. You also notice I've got the Magic Eye in still. This is the original one, but Barry has very kindly sent me out a new one. So I've got another one to put in, but I've done a couple little things to this prior. I've put another brand new resistor on there. That one should have been 470k, and it was 590, I believe. So it had gone high. Let's have a look underneath. If we can get underneath. So yeah, you can see the capacitor at the top there that I've stuffed. All back in. I've given it a bit of a clean up on the top as well. And just over this side, you will notice there's another resistor in here that I've changed. Now that was a 2.2 meg. I pulled it out to test it, and it had gone up to 2.7 meg, but it is in that circuit. So I thought, well, yeah, I'm going to actually change them while I'm in here. I think that was sensible to do. Thanks, David. Not as good as yours, though, David, I must admit. You did the works on yours. That rolling thing you do and cutting the end off with a lathe, I just haven't got the kit to do that. But very, very good. That's about as good as I can get it with the stuff I've got here. So just go to the schematic a minute for the RV14. Let's cube you into that. Let's get that up full screen. And can I zoom in? No, I can't. So I've got to zoom in first. No, I can't do it. It just wants to put it back to normal screen size. So let's zoom in. We just have to put up with the toolbars on the top. So this is our Magic Eye tube, or tuning indicator. It's an EM84 V8. This is the resistor I've changed, 470K. As I say, that was about 590, I believe, 590K, so that had gone high. But I mean, this valve was hardly lit at all, so I don't think it's an issue with the resistors. This R34 has been changed anyway when we did the work underneath it. And if we look down here, there's two 15Ks. I believe that's the two I've done as well. Where was the 2.2 meg? There's 2.2 meg in here. So that's the one I've changed. And I've also done R23, which is a 1 meg. I actually don't know that I've done these two, actually. R15 and R22. I've missed those. We've certainly done this one anyway. C26 is done. So yeah, I might need to check R21 and R22 while we're in here. We'll see how it goes first. I mean, it's obviously sensing that and putting this feed into the grid. And this is also going into the grid. So yeah, we might need to check R21 and R22 if we can find out where the hell they are. I don't think there's a picture of the underside of the chassis, is there? No. But it's 15K and they're going to be quite close together. So what's the color code for 15K then? What's the color code for 15K? Afternoon, Brett, are you? Do you also make CB videos? Yeah, I do some CB videos from time to time. I haven't done any for a long time, actually, Peter. I have got some CB stuff to do, so we might revisit that soon. So we've got to find the two 15K resistors and just a quick look at those. Brown, green, orange. Okay. Well, I can see where they are straight away, can't you? They're right there, look. Just wondering if they're going to measure in circuit. They're original, so I haven't changed those. What's the bet? I'm going to have to change those now. I want to make sure this is 100% really before I go and test the. Is it better to go there? We'll go there. Yeah, I wanted to make sure these are 100% before I stick the new tube in, really, or valve. So let's check that one. 18.1K, that's gone high. 17.6. Oh, I probably ought to whip them out a minute, didn't I? They've gone 3K high, both of those. Should have done that, Graham, shouldn't you? Foolish. Let's have a look then, see what I've got. That's going to hold us up a little bit today, but never mind. What's the betting I haven't got any 15Ks as well? What's that? Oh, there we go. 1 watt, 5%. Whoa, straight inlet. Just see if I've got any normal 15Ks. I say normal, I don't need 1 watt. There we go. Oh, they look big as well. Yeah, they look even bigger. Yeah, it's got some more 15Ks there, but they're pretty lumpy. That's more than, is that 1.5 watts? Am I cracking up? No, that's the ones. Let's stick a couple of those in there. I don't need 1 watt in there. It's only 0.5 watt resistors. Do I keep saying capacitors rather than resistors? I'll have a quick goat just in case I am. Afternoon, Daniel. Mac Fishing, how are you? Derek is saying 21 and 22 are the demodulated FM discriminator, so not part of the VU. Mr. Laser Sound, how are you? Plus or minus 1.5K. Won't make much difference. Afternoon, Graham Townsend and Cyberflyer. We're all popping in now. Welcome. So you don't think it's worth changing those for 3K over? They are out of tolerance, aren't they? Let me look, see how difficult it would be to change those. They're pretty straightforward to swap out those two. I think I will do them while I'm in here. Look, they're saying that they're part of the FM discriminator, but it does look like they are connected into that circuit. But as I say, I am no expert at all. Yeah, so they're on V5, but they are linked somehow through to the grid of V8. Looks like some sort of voltage divider there, because there's a takeoff between the two. Let's go back. Let's go back in. So this is where they are, R21 and R22. And they got a little dot there. I don't know what that means. Is that removable link? Yeah, that's that removable link, I think, there. You know, we got that little red wire. I wonder what that does. There must be something in the servicing info for what that link does. I don't recollect seeing that in the Mayflower 2. So V5 is the EB91. Okay, well, Derek was saying it was the FM discriminator. I would have thought that would have been the ECC85, but I don't know. They're both high, but they're both high by 3K. So that would alter, I mean, that's ground there, isn't it? So it's probably not seeing a lot of voltage. It's coming through. It looks like it's referenced to ground. Yeah, I don't know. Shall we or shan't we change him? That's the question. Shall we or shan't we? Gold band. It's common as horse yes. Won't make much difference. Change them as they will only move more. It won't make any difference, is what Harvey's saying. So we're just wasting time by changing them. So maybe we'll leave that for another day then. As I say, I wasn't intending to go through all the resistors on this one because it is working. And I'm not at the stage where I'm doing a full restoration on this yet. I haven't done the case. I need to get the case done. But apart from that, it's good to go. I mean, I'm hoping to do the case. We might do it for Christmas. I know we mentioned the C word again, but it's coming up. See, it's not very far away. We've got the Christmas channel on our telly now. Can you believe that? The Christmas channel is on, and Mrs. Cruncher's been watching Christmas movies this morning. So I've done a few other little servicing jobs on this. I've lubricated all the pulleys. I've greased the gear in here. I've freed up the on-off knob now, so that will pull off now in the future. One thing that I did do is I got mixed up as to which fuse was which. I don't know if they're the same value or whether one's different than the other, but I may have got them in the wrong place. I don't know if that makes any difference. I don't know if they do. What's Don? Why have you got a thumbs down, Don? What's happening? Are we saying do them? So V5A and B are the diodes in the discriminant. The link is set to the midpoint via the resistors you're looking at. So as long as they're close and it works okay, all is well. Brilliant. Thank you, Derek, for explaining that. Bah humbug. Warm them up. If I warm them up, they start leaking water, Benji, because they've absorbed moisture over the years. They've absorbed moisture over the years. So I think we're just going to give it some juice. So I've got some, I think I've got everything set up. I've got the lamp limiter. I'm going to see if changing those resistors has made any difference to this valve. So we'll be concentrating on this valve here. And I'll turn that one there off to darken it down a little bit. All right, Don, yeah. Well, this is the old valve at the moment. This is the old one. So I'm just going to see if what I've done with the resistors has changed that. And I just want to have a quick look at those fuses just to see if they're different, because one's in the transformer and one's actually in the circuit. What's a bit, and they're not marked on the. Oh, there they are. FS2. Where's the other one? Whereabouts in the circuit is the other one? I wonder if there's a parts list on this. Let's have a look. As I say, until David pulled it out, I didn't even know that they were fuses. So thanks for that, David. I didn't know that they were fuses. I just thought it was a jumper. Yeah, it doesn't say. Yeah, it just says FS1 and FS2 mains fuse. Both mains fuses, so I assume they're the same then. Let's hope they are. Otherwise one might go pop and then I'll have to somehow find out what value the fuse was. Just having a quick look down through the parts list. Valves, transformers, loudspeaker. No. Not a clue what they are. Not a clue. So I'm assuming they're the same. Let's assume they're the same, shall we? No, David, don't say that. See, they both look absolutely identical, but I don't know which one went where. Let me have a quick look at my photos again, just see if I can identify from my photos which was which. Let's have a go back to my photos. I didn't close the photos, but they seem to have closed on their own. Just see if I can see any marks on this that might indicate which one is which. Okay. Let me get some light back on here and get my goggles. So that was facing the back. Couple little nicks there. There. Scratch across the top there. Problem is I cleaned them both as well, which is probably not the best idea. I can't see any markings on that would indicate. I'm just going to have to go for it. If it goes, it goes. Why would they put two different ones and not mark them? So this is what I'm looking at. This here. This is the only decent image I've got of the one that's in my thumb. There's a couple little tiny nicks there. Looks like there's a chunk out of it there. Which doesn't look like that one. It's 50-50, isn't it? 50-50. The colour may denote the fuse rating. It might be a type of 1 milliamp is crazy, more like 1 amp. Yeah. Well, that one's a brownie colour. And that one's a brownie colour, so there's no difference in colour at all. It says they're both mains fuses. I could measure the resistance of them, couldn't I? Because if they were different values, they may be slightly different resistance. Let's look at that. So the lower resistance would be the higher fuse, but then which one is the higher one go in? Does it go in the transformer? Well, according to that one's open circuit. This can't be right, can it? What? (15 mega-ohm). This says that one's open circuit. That can't be right. What is going on here? What's this one? Oh, 1 ohm. Oh no. What? How can that be? How can that be open circuit? What? It was working fine. I've not done anything. Yeah, it seems to me that this one is open circuit. Which I find hard to believe because I have not put any power on this since we powered it up last week. So, see if I can pop it out. Oh, it's not going to come out, is it? Come on. Okay. Well, it looks like there's some sort of cartridge fuse in there. Let's just get you in a bit closer. Let's go into the overhead camera. Why is this all of a sudden open circuit? Are you going to come out of there? Boing. Oh my god, look at that capacitor. Capacitor? Fuse. To me, that looks tarnished. Let's see what it's reading directly across the fuse itself. That's reading 2 ohms. But can you notice the ends don't appear to be touching the actual fuse? You see that? They're not touching the fuse. Seems a little bit odd. Let me just test it now. It might all of a sudden decided that it's going to be fine now. Well, it's reading 27, 28 ohms. I think that's just dirty. It's just dirty, that. I'm going to have to pop that out and clean it and put it back in again. It's not very nice, is it? Yeah, I've looked at the schematic. It does tell you that there's a fuse in there, Harvey, but it doesn't tell you what it actually is. I mean, this one says... Can you see that? It says 2 amp, that is. It's pretty corroded. Let's just get some Scotch pad and clean that up a minute. So I'm just using some of this Scotch pad stuff to clean it up. Be careful I don't damage it, otherwise I'll be stringing some fuse wire across it if I could actually find some fuse wire. That's a thing of the past, isn't it? Fuse wire. Remember fuse wire? The old rewirable fuses. Anybody still got rewirable fuses? It is a baby, isn't it? So yeah, that was definitely 2 amp. This is confusing because this radio was working. Got too mad because I'm getting down to the brass there on it. Still not really cleaned up properly. It's pretty ground in, that. Just run a file over the edge of it a minute. Oop. Get the worst of the corrosion off. That looks better. Right, that's the fuse. So look at the fuse holder now then. Give that a bit of a work over. With the old Scotch pad. Confused, Mal. You've got some, Harvey, have you? Well, we now know that they come apart, David. Never seen a fuse like that before. So what I think I'm going to do is, because you can see that these ends are bent right out and they're not actually physically making contact with the fuse, but they have got little pips on the end. So they should really be making contact with the fuse, I'm sure they should. So you know what we're going to have to do now as well, don't you? We're going to have to take the other one apart as well. So I'm going to give these a squeeze in. Oh, well, maybe that's a bit too much of a squeeze in. That's better. Let's push our little baby in. This is now making contact with the ends as well, look. So let's have a look at that now on the... Oh, what's that doing? Let's have a look at that on the meter now. So I'm hoping we'll be okay now. At least we know it's a 2 amp fuse in there. Yeah, there we go. Good to go. Right, we can put that one back in. Whew, well, that's a bit of an unnecessary adventure, wasn't it? God, so we're going to get it back in now. Getting it out was not easy. Oh, okay. Well, that went back in easy. So let's pop that one back in there. So now let's get this one out and we'll have a look inside this one, see if this is a 2 amp. If it is, we're in the clear, and they're identical. He says chucking all of his stuff all over the floor again. Let's see if we can get in there. That one's got the same issue. It's not as corroded, mind you. It's not as corroded. Let's see what this one is then. Also a 2 amp. So there we are. I've answered my own question there. Well, that one's hanging on by a thread actually, so I need to be careful with that one. That one's hanging on by a thread. The glass is a little bit loose on it, so I don't want to be twisting that. Let's give that a clean up. You're going to get the fuses out of yours now, aren't you, David? Chris A. You think the side tabs hold the top cover on? Yeah. The thing is if you can see the tabs, they've got a little pip in them. Let's go in a bit closer. So can you see they've got a little pip on the end of them? So they're definitely to make contact with the end of that fuse, because the fuse has got some ends there. So they must bend in. It's just that they've bent out with age, I think. Okay. That's making contact now anyway. And there's like a lip on this. I don't know if you can see in the light. Hang on, excuse me. Whew. Usually comes in 3s. That's 2 sneezes. Something last me cup of tea. Let's pop that one back. So we now know that both the fuses are 2 amp. And they've both got dodgy fuse holders. There we are. All back together. Okay. Well, that might have given us a bit of a runaround, didn't it? If I suddenly powered that up and it wasn't working, I'd be saying, well, what's going on? Because it was working and now it's not. It's sod's law, isn't it? It's typical of old Volve gear, just to give you the runaround. Luckily, I found that before I tried powering it up, which is good. Okay, speakers connected, lamp limiters in. Let's pop the power on there. Okay, let's go back. We'll wind it up slowly again. Power on. Maximum volume. Let's put this somewhere where there might be some noise. I can't remember which way around the dial is. Lamp, power on. Light off here. So let's have a look. So we're looking to make sure this one's not glowing. Leave it at 150 volts for a minute. You can see our dial lamps on. So again, this is powered up from my Variac, which is down here. on my little side table. It's got a variac and an isolation transformer all in one. It's coming up through my quick test plug into this socket. I've got it switched on to lamp, so it's going through this lamp and then out to the circuit, so that's limiting the current. 60 watt bulb, so it's a fairly high limit. It's 180. Usually we start hearing some noise around 180. It's drawing 90 milliamps. You can see volve starting to light up. Let's go up to 200 then. Is that at 200? Ah, hang on. There's one thing we haven't got is an aerial. We haven't got an aerial, so that would explain possibly why we're not hearing anything. It's drawing 10 milliamps, so we should be hearing something. But to say, without an aerial on FM, we're not likely to hear a lot. Okay, still nothing. Let me just check underneath here. I need to be careful because obviously this is all charged up now. Just pop the plug out. Pop that out. I just want to, I'm not overly happy with this speaker connector. No, it's not making great connection. So I think what I'm going to do is what I did last time and hook the speaker up directly to the leads. This one needs resoldering. It's not very good. I mean, I'm just giving it a tug down outlet, and the leads come out of the negative. So that's, I don't really want to risk the output transformer. So let's hook that up like I did last time. On there. On there. I haven't done anything to this to make it not work. But it's got a mind of its own, hasn't it? It's literally got a mind of its own. Right, let's hook it back in again. Okay, well the lamp glowed then and it's dying back down, so that indicates that something's happening, hopefully. Connect the speaker back up. The aerial back up, I should say. Let's go up to 240. So let's bypass the lamp now because it's glowing but it's not shorted. Full whack. Doing this jamming again.
Cauliflower, beetroot and waterlilies queue. And later at 3 o'clock, one of Europe's most...
What a goal from Barry Charnley. The place has erupted and quite rightly so. What a strike from the young man. He's picked it up on the edge of the box. Is he going to be Walton, who must be all of 6 foot?
Okay, well it has improved slightly, the magic eye. Let's just get you in on the magic eye a minute. Still not great, is it? Let's turn that light there off. So it's better, but it's still really, really weak. It's really weak. So let's pop that one out and stick the one in that Barry's very kindly given me. And Barry did send me a picture of this one working, so I have also cleaned the socket on that as well. So I've put some switch cleaner in the socket and given it a bit of action. So this is the one that Barry's very kindly let me have. Again, I've not tried this at all, so you're in with me on the first test. Let's pop the little holder back on there. Is that in properly? Yeah, okay. Right, try again. I'm going to stick it on the lamp first. Okay. Let's bypass it. Oh.
Well, there's certainly a change in atmosphere here, Alan, isn't there?
Yeah, it's difficult to know where that equaliser was coming from, but it's arrived, lifted in onto the head of the
It's still not mega bright, really.
Most important thing is to get something on it from the town point of view. It's just how to play for the corner.
Even the ball.
Jobs and conditions. Nick Lynch, the General Secretary of the RAs.
I don't know why this is sticking.
And lows ranging between a chilly 1 Celsius in Scotland to 9 in southeast England. From Global's newsroom, I'm Mike Powell.
Let's turn off all the lights. Let's turn this one off as well.
Welcome from me, Catherine Bott. We're properly
So if I get in the light.
First, Ludwig Holberg. The world's greatest music.
Classic FM.
What do you think? Is that bright enough? It's a damn sight brighter than this one was. seems to be jamming up on this spindle here.
Has to be in 3 or 4 players on the way through. Fantastic layoff.
What do you think?
Alan could be right, but Whittaker went for goal, and Walton needed all of his height to get the ball. It was great save.
It should have been a first-time ball across from Whittaker to Cosgrove, who was completely through. Corner kick though for Argyle. They take it short. Whittaker lifts it in. It comes off for Argyle. Heavy decision from the referee, but Ipswich living on their nerves at the moment. They've not been behind away from home.
Let's just catch up with the chat. I'm in the darkness now. It still doesn't look overly bright, does it? But it is lit.
Another chance here for Argyle. Whittaker still there. Here's Houghton out to the right-hand side.
Hi, Michael Hyde. Chris Milky. Welcome, Chris. You can't see me because I'm in darkness. Let's just pop this one back on a minute. So you can see me a bit, but it does blow out the light on that. It's just What do you think?
What a final 15-16 minutes or so we've got for you here on BBC Radio Devon Sport.
Yeah, I think it probably will be. How you doing, Chris, anyway? I think it probably will look fine when it's back in the radio. Sounds good. Yeah, you'll have to take your fuses apart now, David. Sorry about that, mate. Yeah, the other one's got thick and thin as well, Harvey, for some reason. I don't know why. Gerard's in. How are you, mate? You still have rewirable fuses. Yeah. Steve is saying you can clearly see the burning on the phosphor, so it's a fairly well worn valve, but good enough for government work. Have you been able to test it? Magic Eye, well, let's have a look at see if we've got any information on the voltages on this thing then. Let's have a look. So there's no voltages on the schematic, but I believe, have we got some voltages here anywhere? No. Tells us what pin does what, but let's just see if we've got any voltages. V1, 2 and 3. Amplifier checks. V7. No. Let's have a look. No, I mean, I might better look up the volve data of the EM84, see what it should be. Remember, I've still got that set powered up. I've just got it turned down a little bit so you can hear me.
Referee says no. And it goes all the way through to Christian Hall. And we're into the last 13 minutes. Plymouth Argyle 2. Ipswich Town 1. And I would say both those shots must have entered the goal at almost exactly the same point. They to the right-hand side of Christian Hall.
Phenomenal strikes, both of them. And I think you're right. I think, you know, the Whittaker strike took a deflection of Evans. But nevertheless, well, sometimes football has a wonderful way of rewarding you. So Ipswich, you know, committed quite a few fouls, Alan. Argyle have had a yellow card yet, maybe fortuitously. But I think they could.
So EM84 volve not working. Check supply voltages. 1 meg open circuit. 470k high resistance. Well, we've done the 1 meg, we've done the 470k, and we've done the 0.1 microfarad. So we've done everything associated with that volve. So don't know what the voltages are supposed to be on it. Let's get some lights back on, and we'll have a look at the actual volve itself.
So, Alan, just to refresh your memory, head sent you to heart sent 3-1 Argyle. Yes, oh dear.
I'm sure, well, Barry sent me a picture of this working. It was a damn sight brighter in Barry's set for sure.
I'm a bit of a rascal by my own admission.
So, centre pin should be ground. I'm sure that's not shorting.
Davis is the first player to make way. I suspect he may leave the pitch rather quicker than the two Ipswich substitutes who were made at 1-0.
So I believe the centre's going to be ground, isn't it? Yeah, that's
The second player to make way is Connor Chaplin.
so that's ground there.
So double change then for the visitors. Last throw of the dice, they do
So we've got 100. Oh, you can't see that. Let's turn that down a bit. So we're on a strong station, so we've got 150 volts there. That's on the red wire across that resistor. Brown wire. We've got nothing on that one, and the only other connection we've got is this green wire down here. It's minus 2.8. So yeah, that's the only 3 connections. So that's obviously the 151 volts on that. Nothing on the brown wire. And minus 2.8 on the green wire. I don't know. Oh, sorry to hear that, Chris. How about the heater voltage? So where's the heater gonna be? Is that gonna be? Let me see if I can find which pin's the heater. I take it H is the heater. So let's see where the. Okay, so that's going to be. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's pins 4 and 5 of the heater. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Well, that's the heater there, according to that. Huh? Or is it there to there? So take it that's 2.7 volts, is it? 2.8 volts.
I think you hear him in the notes. Yes,
6.3 volts it should be on the heater. Hang on, we got that one. 77 volts. It was 73 volts on that pin.
Coming up from 2:30, we'll have all the build up ahead of extra chiefs against Harlequins. We'll hear from Rob Baxter. Also have a look at the psychology of sport as well. There's some interesting comments coming out from other clubs about the mental side of Gary Johnson.
Let's have a look, see if I can find some data for an EM84 then. There it is. I'm going to nip to the loo a minute, so I'll leave that with you for a second. Right, I'm just thinking how easy it would be to get to one of my other Mayflowers, which I think has got the same volve in it. No, that's not going to be easy. No, not without moving a load of stuff. Right, so our heater is this one, isn't it? Pins 4 and 5. And oh, careful. Chucking the radio around now. Just trying to see. I try not to get my hands in underneath the chassis, to be fair. See, it does look like pin 4 and 5 are the so 6.3 volts is the heater, AC or DC. $250 volts, VB and VL, shadow length. Dimensions. That's got to be an easier to follow 170 volts minimum. Let's look up the Volve Museum. Well, that was probably the right one, wasn't it? Maximum operating conditions. Heater 6.3, anode 250, grid 22. And this is probably the same data sheet as we just looked at, I think. Yeah, it's the Philips one. Yeah, it's not really telling me a lot more than the... Well, it's given us the voltages now, but this is the pin out. I take it G is the grid and A is the anode, isn't it? It's a bit annoying that they haven't got the voltages on there, isn't it? So let me just count around here. So if I'm looking at the back of it, the grid is that one, which has got the green wire on it, I believe. Yeah, so that's pin 1 is the grid. Pin 2 has got nothing connected to it. Pin 3 is connected to ground, and so is pin 4. Pin 5 is the green wire. Pin 6, does that say T? Pin 7 looks like detector, is that? That's linked. That's linked to the anode as well. So the detector and the anode are linked. I really don't know. I don't know, people, is what I'm saying. I do not know. So I mean, are we testing DC here? We must be testing DC, aren't we? Or are we testing AC? It's got to be DC on the heater, surely. I mean, I should be getting the voltage between ground and this pin, shouldn't I? It's confusing. Right, let me catch up. Right, okay, heaters AC. So you've answered my thoughts there. That would be why I'm not getting the correct voltage on the heater. So let's try that again. Let us set warm up. The heater should be there straight away actually, so that's ground, that's okay, so it's a little bit down, 5.9 volts. Saying that we're in a different meter here, I suppose, if I get an AVO out. So yeah, we got 5.9 volts on the heater then. Chris is saying minimum 150, maximum 300. So Robert's saying it needs 180 to glow right. Anthony was saying, was I measuring in AC or DC? I was in DC. David Gregory saying he wonders if they're meant to be portable. Timothy's saying up the HT to it a bit. T's target 2.8 volts. Danish native. How you doing, mate? Oh, sorry, I've not got myself in picture here, have I? Expect the anode supply would be over 200 to 250, then through the 470 for the other anode supply. So if we go back to DC now then to measure that. So the anode, according to that diagram, is this one here. Or is that a grid? So this is one side of that resistor, 73 volts. Other side of the resistor, we've got 155 volts. I wonder, let's see if I can pop it back on its back again a minute. Disconnect the aerial. Can I connect the aerial back up? No. Let me have a think here. Let me have a think. I wonder if we've got a problem with our selenium then. I wonder if that's gone low. Let's see. Because Barry sent me a picture of that valve and it was glowing very, very nicely. Thank you very much. So I connect to the filter cap there for the ground. That's one of the, is that the output or the input? I'm not sure. Just trying to have a look at this selenium a minute. So we've got, okay, so it's basically both of those filter caps. So let's pop it back on again and I'm going to measure the voltage. on this filter cap, because that's the output from the rectifier. So I don't know what voltages I'm expecting to see, but I'm assuming that we're going to be up sort of over 300 volts there. But I've got the variac wound up to 240 volts, Don, and it's a 244 volts on my mains when I measured it on Friday. A resistor gone high in the anode supply line. Swap out the selenium for silicon, that will up the HT, might even need a drop in resistor. David's saying the radio is made in 1963. Yeah, this is a mains radio, David. So let's check the one side of the selenium. Look. 162 volts, and the other side 155 volts. So that's on the filter cap, 162 one side, 155 the other side. That is the output from the selenium. Is that, yeah, that's going to be DC, isn't it? So the input is down here, 115, 5. AC is going to be across these two, isn't it? So let's try that. Now I'm really confused. I've confused myself even more now. Let me have a think here. What are you doing, Graham? That's a selenium. That's coming off up there. Okay, that's a ground. So we've got 112 volts AC coming out of the transformer into the selenium. It goes across the other side as well. We go to DC after the selenium. 160 volts. 153. But we're working. Why are we still working then if we've got such a low voltage on the HT? $155 is low. The full HT voltage from the selenium is low. Swap out the selenium for silicone. R39, okay. Now, which one is R39, Derek? This is the thing. Because there's no underside short. Let me see if I can dig the manual out for the other one. Let's try. It's RV20, isn't it? RV20. I think there's a picture of the underside of the RV20, and I believe it's the same layout underneath, pretty much. Same EMA4. Okay, so Derek was asking me for to check R39. R38. R39 is that big 120 ohm, 10%. I think we did check that one, Derek. See if there's any voltage on that a minute still. There's 1.8 volts on that, so best not check it quite yet. So wait for that to drain off. And what have we got left in these filter caps? That's drained off rather quick, hasn't it, in the filter cap? The caps are draining pretty quick. Okay, there's nothing wrong. So let's have a look at the that resistor then. So it should be 120 ohms. $124, so it's very slightly high, but it's 10%, so that's probably okay. Well, it is okay, so that one's all right. So yeah, R39 is okay, Derek. Voltages on this circuit. Bear with me. Like alignment. Yeah, so there was no way we've got 270 volts anywhere. I'm sure we haven't. So V6 and V7 should all have around 270 volts on the anodes and screens. So, which is V6 and V7. It's these two, isn't it? V6 and V7 are the two outputs, aren't they? Yeah, okay. Let's just check, see what the voltages are there then, because it sounds to me like we've got a dodgy rectifier, doesn't it? Let's wait for it to come on. I'm not sure which one's which here, so it's going to be... Oh, hello. It does help if you've got it on voltage, not capacitance. 75 volts. No, I've only got... That's going to be the heater there. That'll be the heater. Now I've only got 150 volts on there, so we've got to be that limit rectifier, isn't it? It's got to be that rectifier. I think the rectifier's wrecked. So it looks like I'm going to have to change that. It is too low, isn't it? So it looks like I'm going to have to do the selenium rectifier on it. It won't be today, though. It won't be today. But suggestions as to the dropper resistor on that. I can't remember what David put it on his now. But yeah, it looks like the HT's too low. That's what's causing the problems. So thanks for your input there, people. So let me just get out one of my alcohol-frees, because I've got to go down for my flu jab today. I've got my flu jab at 5:45 today, so I need to make sure I'm off the stream by 5 at the latest, so I can get down the doctor's in time. Yeah, definitely. You want to look at, Chris A wants to look at the power supply schematic again. So let's just find that for you, Chris. So let's get rid of me. Where are we? That should be right. Screen cube. There you go. So that's the power supply down in the corner there. Go up a little bit higher. So this is the selenium. It's a full bridge by the looks of it. Coming off of these tap-ins. So say I have got a ready-made bridge I could just oik in there, but so yeah, we've got ground connection, which is actually all joined up with the filter cans and everything all together. So that's fine. That can stay as is. We've got the AC coming in here, and we've got the DC out going up through there, straight onto the rail. So yeah, I think we're well done if we've only got 155 volts, because that voltage is coming through this one, 120 ohms. It's not showing it a lot of resistance. It's going to drop it a fraction, and it's coming down to R25, and I've only got 155 volts here, which is the same as I've got coming off the top end of the rectifier. So yeah, it does certainly look like the HT is down everywhere, isn't it? So Mr. MR1 has got to go. She got to go. There you go, Chris. You put 22 on yours, David, did you? What sort of wattage? A 10 watt or? Change out the Pong producer. Oh dear. Yeah. So what I need to do is take this rectifier out, strip it all out, and I think I'll do what David did and just put the 1N4007s across it, You're welcome, Chris. So I'll say, I'm not really going to have time to do that today. I really need to concentrate on that. So it might be that Barry sent me a volve that I didn't need, but thanks very much to Barry anyway. You put a 5-watter in, David, did you? I don't know. I might have something like that. I did have a look the other week, didn't I? I've got quite a lot of power resistors here. I've got a 20 ohmlet, so I could stick that one in. It's a bit ropey. I don't particularly like that. That's too big anyway, really. And then I've got 27 ohm. .27 ohm might be near enough. Near to what David's put in his. So I've got some little 27 ohms. I'll have to work out where to put that. So yeah, I might not have to order something in specially for it. Right, what's David saying? A W007 round should work. Yeah, probably would, David. I do have another bridge rectifier I could just oik in there. I just showed it the other week. I think this is quite a lumpy one. I was originally going to just tag that in, wasn't I? Just bolt it on and wire it up. But I think I feel safer sticking it inside this original can. Sticking it inside the original. So the selenium rectifier is in this little rectangular box. Look up the top. That's where the rectifier is in there. In there. So it's a full wave rectifier by the looks of it. So that's our two AC lines coming in. That's our negative, and then the DC comes out on this orange wire here. Yeah, so DC comes out of this orange wire here. So, yeah. It's got a lot of light shining off of that. That's why it's blowing the camera out a little bit. Let's just move it a little bit. Blow it out quite so much. You're going to see any dinner? Okay, Rob. Catch you in a minute, mate. I could tack it in, I suppose. But we're supposed to be looking at the bush today, aren't we, really? I could tack in. What do you want to do? Do you want to carry on with this one and we're going to scrap the bush for today, or do you want to put this to one side and we'll get the bush out next week? What do you think? I don't think we're going to have time to do it all. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I don't know what wattage these are. I'm not sure what it is. Would you say that's a 5 watt? Doesn't actually say. 212-2, 10%, 27 ohms. Or I could go mental and stick that one in, but that's going to be just a little bit hairy and underneath. Connected up to the mains, really. Next week for the Bush. Do the Bush next week. Go for it, fix this one. Okay. Well, we could tack this in now just to see, just to try, and then we might get a chance to just fire the Bush up later. What do you think? As I say, I must leave at 5 o'clock, so that's the deadline. Let's make sure we've got no stray voltages flying about in this one then for a minute. Then I'll get the selenium taken out. So I'm just going to check across that filter cap, because that's really where the voltage is going to be hiding. Nothing there. Nothing there. Let's just check some of these other ones. No, we are dead, aren't we? Yeah. Okay. I'm happy that that's all safe to work on. So let's take this one out first. So we've got 2 screws and 2 nuts. Just going to get the pliers on the nuts for the minute. Careful. Let's get this speaker out of the way a minute. Because that's Chris's speaker from his his VHF Herald, which is underway, Chris. I've got the trim off. I've just got to get the case padded out, which should be happening this week. So the VHF Herald, the red one, will be wanging its way over to the US of A fairly soon. Okay, so selenium, not millennium, selenium. So there's our selenium with the markings on it. So we've got 2 wires coming off the positive. One is going down to through this resistor. The other one is coming back to this filter cap. That's our AC on this side. So we want to tack this resistor in on the AC side, don't we? No, on the positive. So this is what I've got to go in. I can't remember what the spec on this one. Wasn't this 1,000 volts or something? I need to just quickly look that back up again. We did look it up a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? So it is a KBU 1010. Yeah. So it's 10 amp, 1,000 volts. I think that'll be fine, don't you? 10 amp, 1,000 volts. Right, we need to get it connected up. So let's just see if I can find my little things that Mr. Andrew Alsford gave me here. My little quick hats. No, it's not there. Looks like they've done a runner. Where have they gone to then? I usually keep those just here. Just here. Doesn't look like it's can be. There we are. So I'm going to use this one. I'm pretty sure this is 5 amp. Thank you, Rob. You're going out for dinner at 4 o'clock. Thanks very much, Rob. Hope you have a good lunch, mate. Anyway. Hello. That's a school. What the hell is going on there? There's all sorts going on. It's like spaghetti junction out there. Right, let's cut this leg off a bit shorter. Let me get you down on the bench so you can see what I'm up to here. So here's our new rectifier. Here's our dropper resistor, 27 ohms. Good enough. Cheating really, because David's already done the hard work and worked that out for himself. So I should be able to just use one of these to tack that on. Got a lumpy one here. No, I might need to make a slightly bigger one. Let's just get some a capacitor leg, that'll do. Let's get so I'm just going to wind this capacitor leg around here just to make a little coupler to join those two legs together. So that's too big and too small. It's too big, I think. Yeah, it's too big. Okay. Let's get something a bit thinner then. What have I got that's a bit thinner than that? No, thinner again. Let's use that. Could do the longer. I'm in my little capacitor leg bin here. Just trying to find a longer leg. That first one was ideal, but I've now bent that. So. Oh well, this one I'll have to do. Got it's like spaghetti junction out the back here today. Everybody in there. Families are arriving by the sound of it, just to annoy me. Right. That should hopefully do the job. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So I'm just going to solder that up. Tony! Thanks, Tony. Yeah, a lot of headroom there. The only other one I got is not really man enough. It's only 100 volts, the other one, so. This should do the job, no problem. stick a bit of flux on this because this is an old stock. Old stock. Yeah. There we are. That's our drop a resistor in. So we can bend that one nicely out of the way now. So ground is no problem. AC is these two white wires. So it doesn't matter really which way round that goes because it is AC. Let's see if I can desolder them. Oh no, it's just as easy to just snip them off. Okay, so let's zoom you out a little bit. So we want a couple more little joiners to join the AC on. That's the grubbiest capacitor leg in the whole tub. That's one. All right, okay. Interesting, David. Thanks for that. Didn't know that. Ooh. I'm going to bend this too tight now, so I'm struggling to wrap it. Right. So one there. One out. That's our AC. So this is where it's starting to get a bit tight now. So we've got our ground to go in. So again, this is not by any means permanent at all. So this is purely to give it a test, because I think that rectifier was wrecked. Danish, thank you very much. Thank you for the tip, Mr. Danish native. Right, squeeze that one up. So I'm just making these little spring things by winding them around a little electronic screwdriver here. So we're getting up here now. Let's turn that around a little bit so it's not going to foul that. Just doesn't want to go in there, does it? Go in. Get in there. Right, it's looking rough as a badger's backside, but you get the gist. So how are we going to connect this up then? So we want to make sure there's plenty of separation between there and there. That needs to join onto these two now. So we need these two orange ones next. I think what I'll do is maybe stick another wire in there, strip these back. Come on. Well, I mean, that one will reach in there, no problem. It's going to be tight, but it will go. Just. Right, let's connect that up. So don't forget, people, this is just for testing. This is not safe to leave like this at all. What do you think? Oh dear, let's just get you in a bit closer so you can have a look what I've done here. You used to drink hot beer and switch to Marmite. I like it, David. It'd be good to see you tackling a TR-82 though. Very nice. Afternoon, Derek. How are you, mate? The visitor. Wait, they are fairly neat, actually. Bit bristly, I think, though, Harvey. No, I'm not going to do a sniff test. I think that'll work for now. That shouldn't short out on anything. We can fire it up this way up anyway. Just need to hook an aerial up a minute. So I'm going to do that. Where's that? So it comes off there. So I can just clip a lead onto there. I think. There we are. That's the aerial hooked up. Let's hook up the speaker. Hot bottles. So the selenium is deseleniumed. Let me have a quick tidy up. So I went with a 27 ohm. That should drop it more than David's 22, so it should be a lot higher than the 155 that we did have. So it doesn't look like anything can short out there. Got a nice bit of separation between all the legs. HT's coming out that side. Unless I whack that against something, it's not going to do anything. Let's get the speaker back in. Just connect up to these. Speakers in. I'm going to bring it up slowly on the Variac because we've done a major alteration to it. I just want to make 100% sure that we're okay, and we'll monitor the voltage on the HT. So let me get my meter in the shot. Let's get busy. Let's hook the multimeter up so we can see what we're looking at. Test leads everywhere here. So we use the yellow one as our positive. I'm going to connect that to the output of the resistor. And I'll ground. Going to connect up to the negative tab on the filter cap. Good to go. Right, let's get her plugged in and see if that's sorted our HT out. So lamp switched on, switched on. Good to go. Let's get you set up on the camera so you can see what's happening and where the smoke's coming from. I've got it set up like this at the moment. Hopefully you can see everything. Let's switch that light off so you can see the bulb. Let's get the glare off of that one. So we're DC because we're after the rectifier. Let's just turn that one on because there's a bit of a surge when it comes on initially. Let's wind her up then. So I've got 72 volts, 100 volts, $150 volts. We've got more HT already at 150 volts. Aaron, carry on, please. I'm carrying on, mate. $180 volts. See, the magic eye is already glowing better than it was. 200 volts. I'm still on the lamp at the moment. Okay, so it's dropping. I think that means the valves are conducting, aren't they? Okay. Got the 240. It's up to 240 volts. Our bulb is glowing. Should start working now. We're just humming for some reason. Let's give it the full whack then. And I can tell you now, we've got a better magic eye valve.
I thought we're going to beat Saracens. Last play of the game, Saracens win by 41-39. But what about Worcester's score?
What about that?
Well, delighted.
Yeah.
To see it from a off the field point of view. You've got to say, if you're a Newcastle Falcons fan.
Cheers, Rob. Thanks for dropping in, mate.
Absolutely. 39-5.
Life after Dean Richards is not going very well under Dave Walder at the moment.
No, and Bristol won by 40 points to 36, so they're top of the league. And of course, Friday
280 volts, Sam.
They came back.
Got a very high-scoring games, haven't they? All of them.
Certainly have.
Let's
out to the wing. That's
turn some lights off then.
It's going to be too long. It's going to be dotted down by the Chiefs, and it's going to be a dropout.
Yeah, it's the goal line dropper.
Joe Simmons doing the mopping up work there, I think.
It's very dangerous. They've got some pace in the back, don't they, these Harlequin boys?
You
Now then.
drop your concentration for a second and they're on you, Harlequins.
No, they came back that season before last against Bristol, they were thick. Weren't
Well,
they?
they had a high-scoring opener against Newcastle. They then had another high-scoring defeat in the heart of Cornwall.
But first, do you know anyone celebrating their birthday?
It's good.
Now?
There's an injury, so we can talk a little bit more about the Friday night game, particularly Wasps winning at Bath.
Wow.
Won this season, so poor old Bath played 3, lost 3. And then yesterday it wasn't good news for Pirates, were they? Losing at home.
I think
21-21,
that's
so they led 14-6, I think, at half-time.
Yeah, Jersey are going well in that league. They put 50 points on London.
That's a
Scottish
big
in London.
success.
Not missing anything here is an injury to Ernie Herbst, the second row, who's now back on his feet.
It's got a hell of a lot of volume now.
Taunton got beaten up at Sale FC. And of course, Plymouth Albion put up a brave fight at Cinderford, but they went down by 41 points to 28. So Albion are not getting more than one. Well, they've got 1 win for the season, but they've had a couple of close results away. Difficult times, isn't it?
Job done, I think you'll find. That's all good. Let's turn some lights back on here. I see how that light there interfered with it. How bizarre.
Their match fees being cut, and then they get flying economy class. Well, you know, it's right across the game, isn't it? It's you know, issues.
So let's have a look what we've got.
As I said before, the restructuring of the local leagues is probably worked out very well higher up, but the lower down the restructuring you get, the more mismatches you get in. We're only in September, we're already getting.
So let's have a look what we've got on that Volve now.
Worrying feature.
Yeah, that is sad.
Capstick with that, gets the ball away from that scrum. Henry Slade, lovely little sidestep inside Northmore.
He did.
So we've now got 240 volts on that Volve. Look, we had 150 before. And the other side, 114.
Lovely pass back inside there by Hepburn.
It's a slow ball now for Townsend, so the Chiefs will probably try
Harry
it up.
Williams already got his name on the scoreboard.
Let's check to see if that voltage has come up on the
What are we with 17
AC.
Shunza, Slade, double miss pass to Capstick, who knocked on Exeter of Quince of Hacked.
So up to 212 on the AC coming in now. That was 115, I think, wasn't it, before?
It'll be certainly Harlequin's choice. Oh, there's another injury now, one of the Harlequins
I think
left.
they take the line out, wouldn't they?
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
More of attacking side of things, but we can talk a little.
Wow. That was an unexpected deviation, shall we say. We've got to put this light back on again. A bit dark in the house. Yeah, that was a bit of an unexpected deviation. I really didn't think we'd be going there at all, but looks like we had to do the rectifier. Interesting journey, though. Enjoyed messing with that. It is smelling very hot here somewhere, though. It's smelling hot in this area, so I'm not sure if it's this that's hot. Let me just see if there's any voltage left. It is smelling a bit hot up the top end here. So it might be this resistor. Let's make sure we got no voltage left in this thing a minute. It drains its voltage really quick. There must be a resistor across that because nothing left on the HT, so yes, that resistor's getting really hot. So I need to get a bigger resistor in there. Yeah, that resistor is smoking hot. Yeah. Check Danish. I'm not sure how to do that, mate, but thanks. Yeah, thank you all. Yeah, Barry, there was nothing wrong with your volve. I didn't expect it, Barry. You showed me a picture of it working perfectly. Absolutely nothing wrong with that one, mate. So thank you very much for sending that. It's the resistor. Yeah, it needs a bigger resistor. Not sure exactly how I'm going to mount that, but something like that probably would be better. Check later. The power rating of 27 ohm drop in resistor is adequate at proper B plus HT. V times R gives you the wattage. Thanks for that, Timothy. I'm going to have to go toilet yet again. I don't think my waterworks issue is quite right yet. And I need to go and grab the VTR103, which is out on the landing, waiting in the wings. So I won't be a sec. Right, let's grab the bush then. Doesn't sound right, does it? Let's grab the bush and see how that one goes. I times I times R. P equals I times E, or P equals I squared times R. That's the old PVI, isn't it? PVI. It's like Ohm's law. Right, let's make a bit of room here. Let's get the lamp limiter out of the way. We'll pop the Frankenstein's volve radio out of the way over there. The Frankenstein's Mayflower. Afternoon dances, how are you? You missed all the excitement. There. So power equals P goes P. Yeah, I'm confused. I'll have to get me maths head on, won't I? I don't like doing maths. You know I don't like maths. Cutting dovetails, very nice too. Dances, but you can always watch it back. Yeah, what I thought was just going to be a quick switch on, and away we go for the Hacker Mayflower turned out not to be so. It just wasn't so. Right, it looks a bit dark in here still, doesn't it, for some reason. Let's get the cup out of the way, and let's get the Bush up on the bench. How are we doing for time? It's only 3:30. Let's put it the right way around. There we are. Bush VTR103. In rather nice condition, actually. Very surprising. As I say, this is one of my auction buys. I mean, it's not as dark as it looks in the picture, but it is quite a dark. It's quite a dark case on this one. I've got my light unplugged again over the other side here. Let's plug my other bench light in. That's a bit better. Yeah, so this is the Bush with the VHF on it. So it's got long wave, medium wave, VHF. We've got rather a nice aerial here with a little red pip on top. You can just about see it there. Extends nicely. Quite a rarity to get a decent aerial on one of these. I can't see any damage. There's a little bit of something gone on there where someone's tried to clean it, I think, and gone a bit aggressive. Apart from that, it's pretty good condition. Serial number is 19595. VTR103. On the back we've got an external aerial plug, still with its original cinch plug, is that? Or yeah, it's a cinch plug, that's quite nice to have. And we've got output to tape recorder down the bottom there. Look, the camera doesn't like this, does it? It's blowing it out a little bit. Dial then, what does it go up to? It only goes up to 100. Seems to be turning okay. 88 to 100. Okay, it's not particularly lined up very well. Look, that should be across there, so we need to do that as well. On the top we've got on-off volume on this one and tone here. Same, but VHF, medium wave and long wave buttons. So let's have a look in the back. I believe these have got the dreaded AF117s in them. So again, the back panel's in very good condition. Doesn't look like there's any cracks in it at all, which is excellent news. Yeah, really lucky there. Yeah, sure enough, we've got all the usual suspects in here. We've got, again, it doesn't look like it's been touched, which is absolutely brilliant. It's much better to have an unmolested one if you can get it. So we've got the original Plessies in here. And if you remember the TR82CL I did, we restuffed those and stuck new labels on them. So we'll be doing the same for this. But yeah, these are going to be, these will have had it for sure. They won't be any good. And we have got the infamous AF117s. We've got 1, 2, 3, and I believe there's 2 in this can here as well, just for good measure. Let's get you in a bit closer so you can see what's going on. So yeah, we've got AF117 up here, look. There's another one here and here. So it's 3, that's the IF strip, I believe. The other ones are these glass type capacitors. This is an OC71. And the outputs, that's probably driver there, but the output ones are right on the end here. There's one here and there's one down the bottom lower. Probably OC81, something like that. I've not got a service manual for this. Well, I have, but I can't access it because for some reason my computer doesn't like the what am I trying to say? It doesn't like the disc that I bought from the vintage radio forum. Let's have a look inside here. Okay. If this will come open, because this is where the other AF, I think it might be AF115s in this one, I'm not sure. I don't know if that just comes off. As I say, I've not ever had one of these. It looks like that should pull off, but yes, it does. That's not too bad a module, actually, that. Where are they, then? Where are you? Okay. Yeah, that's going to be tricky. That is going to be tricky. So it looks like it's slug-tuned. But you can just about see them in the back there. They've got a red plastic cover over them. So there's one there. And there's one in there. So yeah, we've got 2 in the FM front end. So what do you think? Will he or won't he? So it's a single 9-volt battery, I believe. PP9 type. So let me get me power supply set up. Do you think it's going to work, or don't you? Let's place your bets. If I can unravel my power leads from everything else. Yeah, so I've got the disc from the vintage radio net. But I did manage to stick it onto my computer ages ago, but I lost the hard drive on the computer and I lost all the files. I've still got the original DVD, but it just doesn't work. Right, okay. I've got my leads. I've got the leads. David's off. Thanks, David. Cheers for joining us, mate. 12:35. You did the long stay, David. Okay, we don't have any power supply. That's interesting. Why do we not have a power supply? Is that the power supply? Doesn't look like the power supply, but it might be. Ah. Has my power supply packed up? What's going on here? My thingy might have tripped. Just let me see a minute to make sure that's off. I've got a little circuit breaker in behind here. It may have tripped. Obviously not that one. Oh, hello. Got my arm stuck then. What's going on there then? Wow, we don't have a power supply. More fault finding to do. Oh well. Yeah, my strip block for some reason has stopped working, so I've probably somehow unplugged it inadvertently. Yeah, okay. Can't connect it up with that then, so I'm going to have to go with a battery, aren't I? Going to have to go with a battery. So, old school. Yeah, the Chinese ones are pretty shocking. Right, let's turn it off. It really is a little bit dodgy trying to power this up without any current limiting. I don't think I've got a 12 volt bulb in here, but it might be too high a wattage, and 12 volt as well. I could connect that in series, I suppose, just to make it a bit safer. Let's don't think it's going to draw enough current to even light this with a 9 volt, but it might do. Just hold that on and see. Okay, well, it's not lighting the bulb, so that should be okay. It's not shorted, put it that way. Right. We are connected. I'll check my email for the VTR103. Thank you very much, Derek. Zoho, I don't want Zoho home, do I? Zoho mail login I want. Right, let's pop them on then. Stick the aerial up. We've got noise. But we have no stations. So that might indicate the front end's working, but the... It's sort of working. So I would assume it's one of these.
Thank you. You are most grateful.
Husband driving. Lovely singing, singing along. That's Hills and Big. Very good afternoon. Pam's been back in touch. 72 cushion covers.
Well, it is just about working. It's just about working.
Driving back from Essex to Northamptonshire after Richard's delayed 50th birthday. Get a load of this. Right, alongside the fire.
It's not a noisy tuning cup, Les. It's the good old AF117s. So let's pop that battery out a minute. Let's drop that aerial down. Let me have a look here. So we need to lift the legs, the ground legs. Let me just put a... Okay, that's okay. You can go down there if you want to fall down there. What's that? Just going to put one of these little mats on the bench so I don't damage anything. No scratching. Zap time. We're going to pull the shield wires off of these and see if that brings the IF back up again. It should do. It should do. So let's get why has that gone out there? Oh, I see, because I turned the thing off, didn't I? It's better. I can see now. I can see. Yeah. I can see. Right, let's get in and pop these shield wires off. Let's see if I can get you in with the overhead camera. It might be interesting to see what I'm actually up to. Let's go overhead cam. Let's go in a bit closer. Closer. There we are. So, what can we do to the light? Not a lot. Forceps, soldering iron. Now we're quite lucky with these because they are actually on a tab. I could just unscrew it, but it looks like that resistor's connected to that as well. So let's see if I can get that one first. They've obviously done a big wrap job on these. I'm going to have to cut those, I think. I will reuse these transistors because I am finding that they work a bit better than the Russians. So that's that one snipped because I can't really get that one off. They've wrapped it right around. What about that one? Might be able to get that one out. Let's have a go. It's a bit shorter leg on that one, so better if I could get it out. Oops, apologies. I've just knocked you out of the shot. You really could do with sorting out a better overhead camera, really. Okay, that one lifted out all right. We've not done a wrap job. And this one here, down the bottom, you can't quite see. See if that one will be good and come out for me. Yep, there we are. Okay, that's the 3 IF transistors with their well, 2 IFs and probably one is the mixer, is it? I don't really know without looking at the schematic, but we have got that now because Derek's very kindly sent it over. So let us pop the battery back in and see if that has made any difference. It's not sounding good at all, is it? Okay, what it could also be is these are dodgy, very dodgy capacitors. So let's have a look here. Can I bridge them? Let's have a go. So it looks like this one here is in the IF. It's not making any difference at all, that one. Here. Whoa! No. I won't stretch for that one. Well, that one's in the output. Don't think I can stretch that far. I'm just chucking 100 microfarad across it, really. It's probably a bit big, but... No. It's this little one down here as well. They're a pain in the neck. Let's get a small value one. God, it sounds terrible, doesn't it? It sounds absolutely shocking. Thanks, Danish. Valdir, how are you, mate? AVC cap. I'm just going to stick 2 microfarad across this little cap here. I can't remember what they are now. I think they're fairly low value. This one here. Yeah, stick it across there. Let's have a listen to it. No. Let's put this shield back on, because these shields are sometimes pretty critical on some of these FM sets. So let's just temporarily pop that back on. See if it cleans it up a little bit. It's the wrong way round, Graham. It went that way. Well, shield makes it worse. Alright, let's try medium wave. Turn that light there off. I mean, that's the usual sort of interference. Let's turn some of this stuff off. Turn that light there off. No. I'll tell you what I'll do in a minute. I'll take it outside. Because I've got the wireless mic on me. You should be able to hear me outside, no problem at all. So let me take it outside and see if that improves the situation. I'm going to pull the wire off now. So you should be able to listen along. So bear with me. You won't be able to see anything, but you will be able to hear it. Let's try it outside, away from all these lights and computers and oscilloscopes and everything else that causes issues. It's very difficult to assess a medium wave radio indoors here. Mrs. Cruncher is still watching the Christmas channel. Right, okay. So we've got it on top of the barbecue test area.
She played a long ball, Steph Houghton won it, but it went behind her, it slipped off her head, and Wrighton looked like she was in on, should have had the shot. She went to
so medium wave.
And it just...
That's in the base rate of tax and a reversal of a rise in that. Tries to clear to the left foot block. It's fine for another goal kick. Well, first of all,
yeah, it's not the most sensitive radio on the planet.
Settled done now. Manchester City again. Go to 1-2 here between Burton and the goal.
Coming to the fore in the same way. And I think the lead...
Header, then she's under pressure immediately. Two Chelsea players right behind her. Back it comes to the City. To the left, Lauren Hemp jumps, she heads it, has to chase her own header down the left-hand side, and Chelsea...
Okay, so that's medium wave. Long wave?
Propos recueillis par Léonard Cassette pour RTL. Début journée de vote historique en Italie. 50% sont appelés aux urnes pour désigner un nouveau parlement. Le taux de participation s'est élevé à...
Munster finishing well and maybe have the initiative. They did.
That's Ireland.
24 minutes, and then there was the last 6. And in the last 6 Munster scored 2 tries and managed to take the lead at half-time. Both teams.
France.
There's been a chat in the middle to
A series of recovered interviews between my dad, David Frost, and some of the 20th century's greatest entertainers, including Sammy Davis Jr., the Beatles, and first up...
Right, so let's try VHF outside, away from all the racket.
Happy?
No, shocking. Say a shield back off. Okay, no, FM is unusable, but medium wave, long wave sounds fine, as expected in this this place. So yeah, sounds like we've got to look at the transistors in the front end then, which is going to be a bit of a pain in the backside to get to, I think. I'm coming back, don't panic. So I mean, it looks like it shares the IF with FM, so long wave, medium wave is working, so I've got to assume that the IF is probably okay now that I've disconnected the ground wires. the shield wires. I've just got to get into this. I can't access it from here, so it looks like I'm going to have to take it out of the chassis, which means getting the dial off. Hell, that's not the nicest job. That's not the nicest job. Sean, he's in. The man cave's in the house. How you doing, Sean? Change the discriminator cap. Okay, Steve, let's I think that's on the back side of the board. Let me see if I can get this. Looks very kindly sent me the schematic, so let's download that. I've even got an external drive up here, external DVD drive, trying to get this to work. So I believe it's got a lifetime guarantee, so I think I can send it back and get it changed. We're just downloading that. Very nice, thank you very much, Derek. So let's go to the screen. It's the original Bush manual as well, which is even better, so thank you for that, Derek. Now, FM discriminator cap. Let's have a look at the schematic then. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, it's got some good layouts on this. Okay, here we go. So FM is in this module here. Let's go a bit bigger. So this is the front end, but we want the discriminator, which is not going to be there, I don't think. Is it this one? C1600 microfarads. Let's have a look what else comes out of this. We've got this comes down. No, that's for switching in the what you're trying to say, Graham, for switching in the long wave, medium wave on that output. So just going along, along. So it's coming back through there, back down through here. Okay, so that's switching it through these. So actually 3 is FM, 4 is FM, and I believe it's that one there, isn't it? C46, because this is our 2 diodes, CD2 and CD3. I believe it's that one there, C46 that we're looking for. Is that right? Is C46 the discriminator capacitor? Night, Don. Cheers, mate. Thanks for dropping in. I believe it's that one there, Steve, isn't it? C46. So you think that was worth changing first. So let's see if we can find on this layout where C46. I bet it's on the back of the board. Okay, here's the back of the board. Let's zoom into that. C48, C42, C51. Am I looking right at it? Or is it that poxy little one on the front? Have we got a front layout? Is it that little tiny one there? Yes, it is. It's that horrible little white thing that I did bridge that. Didn't make any difference. But maybe it just needs to come out. So let's see what value C46 is. I think it, did it say 100? Oh no, 8 microfarads. So positive goes to ground. Yeah, this is always confuses me. Positive to ground. Right. So let's try that one then, as per Steve's recommendation. And I do know for a fact that those white ones are really, really bad normally. And there's another one on the rear of the board that I can't remember what that does now. But C46, 8 microfarads. So let's get you in so you can have a look, see what that one is. There he is. Positive ground. Thank you, Jataka. Thanks very much. Sean, you're following along. It's a good service manual, that. I did bridge it with I only bridged it with a 2.2 to be fair, so it could work well. It's gonna need changing anyway, to be fair. I mean, all the caps will be knackered in this thing, but you know, that's what's to be expected. So 8. I don't have any 8 in axials. I've got an 8.2, I think, in a radial. So let's grab one of those. I could probably stick a 10 in and it would be fine, but let's try and stick as close to the original as we can. And I picked up 4 boxes, and it's the 5th box. Sod's law, isn't it? Right, 82. Okay, 6. Okay, so it must be in my other box, which is very deeply buried. Yes, it is. Worth checking the diodes as well. Yeah, good call. Good call, Rob. It is really bad, isn't it? It's shockingly bad. I mean, my first thought was the shorts on the what are you trying to say, Graham? The shorts on the transistors, but it's not necessarily, is it? Right, 8.2. I knew I had some somewhere. Not got a lot of those, mind you. So let's oink that one out. Let me just move this camera up a little bit out of the way, so as I can see what I'm up to. Bit of a glare there with the light, but the one that says 6V is the one. Now the diodes, where are the diodes? As long as they're not in one of those cans, I bet they're on the back of the board, aren't they, the diodes? But we can do this one first and see, can't we? I do need to remember that the ground is positive. So this is the new one. It's a little Worth German one. 8.2 at 50 volts. Look, so it's a bit different in voltage. Assuming this is an 8 volt one. We don't know yet because we ain't got an out. Let's grab them. Okay, it's liking that other wire that came with it. You gonna let go of the other wire? Let it go. Oh, you are naughty. It's not going to let it go, is it? I'm going to have to cut it off. I have to cut it off in its prime. Okay, that one came out, and it does say 8 MFD. Right, solder sucker, where are you? Solder sucker, come on. Don't be hiding. Doug, how you doing, mate? There could be partial shorts on the AF117s between base and emitter. Who's that? Have I lost volume or something? Oh, hang on. It's Doctor. Hello? Well, that was the doctors. They want me down ASAP for my vaccine because it's very quiet. So they're trying to get home early, I think. But I'm not booked in until 5:45, so seems a bit strange, doesn't it? Anyway, we're carrying on with this for the time being. If I can get in there. It's difficult to get the solder sucker in there even. I think that's there. It's a positive to ground. Yeah, that's good. But can we get this thing back on there? That's probably the doctor's surgery saying I've got to come earlier now. Reminder. No, okay, I don't know what that was for. Zap the crap out of them, Aaron. Thank you for that. Had a trim, yes. Mrs. Crunch has been on me. It's my flu jab, Sean. It's not COVID. I don't know when the COVID thing's going to happen again. I assume it will. I certainly don't want any more of that business. I didn't enjoy that whatsoever. Do not want that again. Thank you very much. Right. Normally I only get a phone call in the live streams if if my batteries run out on my microphone. People are saying, can't hear you, can't hear you. It's the only time normally. Right, I think that's the one that's got to come out. So we might need to end the stream a little bit earlier because obviously they haven't got as many people as they were probably thinking they were going to get. It's a bit strange, isn't it, on a Sunday afternoon at 5:45 to have a flu jab. Does seem a bit strange, but there you are. I think it's all these government changes, etc., that have come in. All the GPs have got to offer out-of-hour appointments now, which is okay. That suits a lot of people that are working. But the last time I went in for an evening appointment, I was the only person in the whole surgery, so I don't really know that it's helping that much. Right, that's back in now. So we need to oik this one in there. So that's going to go in there. This one's going to curly whirly around there. Should I curl him that way? I think I'm going to curl him that way. So we've got the positive going to ground, which is correct. Sort of a very strange thing, isn't it? But it is right for these discriminators. I've queried that before. And those of you in the know have always put me straight. Right, where's my little screwdriver gone now? There he is. Just push that on there. Should give us a nice firm fixing. Let's fire that one on. Let's burn him on. Good down. What are you doing? So that's one. No, I can't really get my forceps in there, so I'm going to have to just hook it up there. Come on. There we go. Nice, pretty. Right, that is the discriminator capacitor. Done. Let's see if that makes any difference. Sounds sick. Not familiar with that particular set, but circuit's very standard, especially the discriminator does not differ much, even if it's a tube circuit. Yeah, you're right. You've booked your next COVID booster in a couple of weeks, multi of you. Okay. Vampire Nurse on Wednesday for Benji. Benji. Right. Let's see if that capacitor change has sorted anything out. Let's get my battery back. These are the ones that Simon's World gave me very kindly. Aerial up. Power. No. Okay, let's just look at that next capacitor that I spotted. It does sound really, really rough. Hence why we were looking at the discriminator. It does sound. I did have. In fact, I think it was Sean's Hacker Hunter that had a diode gone in the discriminator, and that sounded shocking as well. So it could well be a discriminator diode, but I think that's on the back of the board. Unless it's in one of these cans. I don't know. It probably did need changing. In fact, I'm 99.999% sure that that one is absolutely knackered, but we'll have a look a minute. We'll have a look because I expect it's shown as open circuit. Yes, that's knackered. It's measuring 16 microfarads at 5.6 ohms, so yeah, poorly. Right, the next one I was going to look at was the output from the radio. Where are we? Where are we? No, it's not that. Hey, where has it gone? Where be it gone to? There it is. So we've got C16 is right on the output from the can. C16. So let me just. This is C16 is just here. Look. So this is our FM front end. It's coming out to the switch, and this is going to ground. So if this was shorted to ground, then our signal would be disappearing before it even gets to the VHF switch. So it's worth checking that one as well. C16. Just find where that one is. And looks like that's going to be on the front as well, which might be good. So it's this big one here, this big Elka mode. So again, easy enough to just put one in there just to check it, although I did bridge it with 100 microfarad and it didn't make a lot of difference. So what size is that? It was 100, wasn't it? So 100. I might just put too much. I should have probably bridged it with a 10 or something. So 100 microfarads. It is Sean, isn't it? Yeah, that was real rough, wasn't it? So let's get this one out then. So it certainly looks like this is going to be to be continued next week, because it sounds like the doctors want me up there pretty sharpish, don't they? So I'm going to keep the doctors waiting. Obviously, they've not had a lot of interest having your jab on a Sunday. To me, it was I originally said no because I had the live stream, but I thought, well, they said the next ones wouldn't be till later in October, so if I didn't get one now, I would have to wait quite a while. So I thought, yeah, sod it. If I have the latest appointment they've got, which is 5:45, then I can still get the stream going for you guys. That was the plan anyway, but it sounds like they've not been busy. Right, let's stick 100 in there. 47, 1,000, 100. Now, what voltage was that one? That was 12 volts. So I will restuff. I can restuff that because this one will actually fit inside there, no problem at all. So that's ground. So I'm not going to snip the legs off of that one, I'll leave them long and I can reuse that one when I restuff it. Because I do want to restuff it, I want to keep it as original as I can, this one, because they are fairly sought after radios and they are rare. They do go for exceptional money, really. They are fairly expensive. Right, let's see if that's made any difference. That's the output from the front end. Here we go again then. No. No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. So it definitely sounds like it could be in the discriminator, which is going to be in the back of the ear somewhere. Let's just have a look at the discriminator on the circuit then. So it's CD2 and CD3, which we can see here. When my scroll bar is not working. This is the discriminator diodes. So we've changed this one. We've got test point 2 there, so that might be a clue. Variable resistor RV1, which is probably that one just above. Could be something to do with that, maybe, I don't know, but I don't like messing around with the FM side because you can get into so much trouble. So let's see if we can find CD2 and CD3 on the layout. Yeah, so it's on the front of the boardlet. So there's CD3. CD2 is just here. So there's no way of getting to them without taking it out of the chassis, and I'm not really going to have time to do that today. Of course, we've got C51, C48, which are Plessis, and we've got C39, which is another one of these horrible little 8 microfarad things. Let's see where C39 is in the circuit. Where is that? There's C39, or C47 is an 8 as well. C49 is an 8. Yeah, I don't know. C39, is it C39? I said I've forgotten which one I said now. Yeah, C39. So this C39 is here, and this, I think, is that the AGC line up there? Yeah, that's on the AM side though, isn't it? So that's not going to affect FM. So yeah, definitely that's the two things to look for. We've got a couple test points. I wonder what we can do on those test points. Does it say anything about those test points? That's probably for setting up the AGC, or not the AGC, the alignment FM circuits. Test point 1 and test point 2, but what are they for? Can't see any reference to, oh hang on, what have we got here? To test point 1, to test point 2. Okay. DC balance meter and DC output meter. Ah, okay, well, I really don't want to get this out the chassis today. I've got to sort myself out and get myself down the docks, I suppose, am I? Because they're really quiet. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you very much. AM sounds fine, Derek. So if RV1 is oxidized, it could cause trouble. Well, welcome, Theo. He's in. David Rhodes. Hi, Dave. I don't know if I said hello to you earlier. Is it oxidized? Yeah, it's pretty oxidized. If I mark exactly where it is, I could give it a little tweak a minute. Could give it a squirt with the old fader lube and give it a try. Oh, it's hellish loose, actually. Whoa, that's loose. Try that. It's not making any difference, that. No. It was worth a try, wasn't it? But no, that's not sorted it. So we've got to get the chassis out and check those diodes in behind to just see if it's that. We also got to get the shield wires off of these other AF117s and see if that improves matters or not. It was a good try though, wasn't it? It's the FM IF output okay. Well, we know that the IF transistors are okay because they're passing the AM. I mean, it's got separate IF transformers somehow, so we've not got that far yet. But as I say, we need to get it out of the case in order to get to the back side of the board and have a look. Andy Beck, how you doing, mate? Thanks a lot. I'm only going down for my flu jab. It's not the end of the world, but I was booked in at 5:45, but they say it's really quiet. If I want to come down now, then I can. So that'll suit me, to be fair, because by the time I've gone down there, got my jab, come back, it'll be time for tea anyway. So it is just the FM, yes, Harvey, it is, yeah. It's unique to FM, and it does sound like a problem with. I don't think it's the front end because I think we're getting the signal, but it seems to be failing somewhere along the line. So again, it's something we'll carry on with it next week. It should be very interesting to get to the bottom of it. Thanks, Steve. We've tackled a couple of the possible issues. A couple of the capacitors done. Snipped the leads on the IF transistors, the shield wires, that is. And I've given the discriminator pot a clean and a bit of an exercise. There's lots of other things to do on this yet, so it's going to be a full live stream next Sunday as well. So that's pretty much it for now, people. Apologies to cut it off a bit earlier today, but we can blame the doctors for that. So it'd be good to go down and get the jab and get it done, wouldn't it? Another box ticked. And I'm sure that the flu bug is going to come again this year. It does every year, doesn't it? Cheers, Anthony and Derek. Yeah, we'll go through it bit by bit. I'm sure we'll find it pretty, well, I wouldn't say easily, but I'm sure we will find it anyway. So that's it for now. Thanks everybody for the super chats and the tips. Much appreciated. And I'll catch you again next week in the week if you're a Patreon. So thanks again to the Patreons. Bye for now.